Well, hello, hello. It is Linda Anderson here from Linda Lou Creates. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hey, I wanted to share some fun fold cards that I had created, and I am now going to sort of change them up a little bit. These are the cards I'm going to share with you. And this one I made for a swap that I was involved in, a fun fold swap. And then this one was just one that I copied off of another card, just like it, that I had made. So I am going to copy these cards yet, but I am using some of the celebration paper, the Beautifully Penned Celebration paper. So let me show you the cards that I'm going to make and share with you. And here they are. So the Beautifully Penned Celebration paper pairs really, really well with the hand-penned petals. Whew, that's a mouthful. And the penned flowers bundle that's in the annual catalog. So I went ahead and I used those for these cards. So let's get started. Let me show you how I made these. So fun fold cards are, well, just that, they're fun. And they can be very intricate or super simple. And it's nice because people will be like, huh, how did she do that? Well, let me show you. I have a piece of the polished pink cardstock for my base. It's 5.5, 8.5. I then cut off 2 1/4. Here, I guess I should show you the supplies instead. So I cut off 2 1/4. So I did the score line at 5.5. Let me say that again. I did the score line at 4 1/4. So I have that, and then this portion here is only 2 inches. So that is what's going to make part of your fun fold. So I have scored it on that 4 1/4 inch score line. The other pieces are my insides, and this is just a piece of white that's 4 by 5 1/4. So why don't I just go ahead and get that put in so that I have it ready to go. There we go. Because there's just I like having the inside already in my card when I do this style, especially if you're going to put a sentiment on the inside. Sometimes I don't use a sentiment. I leave it blank. That way, either I can put a sentiment in later or I just write my note then. So either way, with this one, like I said, I wanted to make sure that I put the white inside piece in. And I'll show you why here in a second. Okay, this is a piece of the Beautifully Penned Designer Series paper. Free with a $50 order. Yeah, you get a whole pack of 12 by 12 pattern papers free. So this is the one side. Let me show you the other side. Gorgeous. So I am going to go ahead and put this in. This measures 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. So I am changing things up. Usually I like to do my margins or my mats just 1/8 of an inch bigger. Well, on my cards today, they're 1/4 of an inch. So how about that? Yeah, I'm changing it up here. Now for the front, which is again part then of the fun fold portion of it, I have a piece again of the Beautifully Penned Designer Series paper, 3 by 4, basic black, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So here's the other side of that. So yes, it is double-sided. They have several packs of Designer Series paper that you can choose from during celebration. Now September is the last of it, so don't miss out. All right. Yeah, I would hate for that to happen. Lots of great things. This is going to go right here. Now, this is why I wanted to put my insides in. I just wanted to make sure that I was going to cover up whatever I had stamped on the inside with this piece here. Also, a lot of times with fun fold cards, you have to be careful in the where you put your adhesive. So I want to make sure I'm adhering it to this flap over here on the left, that I only put my adhesive on this portion of it. So let me just kind of eyeball where that is. All right. And now let me get that down. See, when I concentrate, I can't talk. That must be why I say things without thinking, because I'm concentrating on something else and my mouth just goes. Anyway, see? Here is one of the images from the hand-penned petals stamp set. I inked it up in the Tuxedo Black Memento ink onto just white cardstock and then die cut it out. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and just do some quick stamping. So for the flower, the big flower, I'm going to use So Saffron. And let me tell you something, why I adore this set is because you don't have to match it up 100%. It is meant to be wild and crazy. All right. And I love that. So then, like I say, don't have to bother matching it up and aligning it. And, oh, did I get that right? Anything like that. So, all right, next, polished pink. I want to do this smaller flower here. Let me just get a little bit on there. If you find, here's a little trick, as I'm finding that my ink pad's a little bit too wet. It's a little too juicy. I use a very expensive tool in order to take care of it, a plastic spoon. So all I do is just rub it along my ink pad to kind of push the ink onto either end then. So now it won't be quite as juicy right there. Yeah, I like the looks of that better already. So let's go ahead, get in here, and boom, there we go. The other one, I could just tell that it was just picking up way too much ink. So I'm glad I did that. So next for my leaves, soft succulent. And again, the leaves, same with the flowers, do not match 100%. All right. So let me just kind of turn it around. I'm going to try real hard not to bump my head into my phone here, so as to bump the camera. Okay, there's the 3 leaves there, and then here's a smaller leaf pattern that I use right in there. You know, you can flip it around whichever direction you like. There we go. There's my flower with all the, like I said, non-aligned colors. Now, you can easily use markers, blends, colored pencils, anything to color this flower image. That would be beautiful too. But I like, because I'm lazy, to just use the stamps and fill it in. So what I did also, as you can see with the sample, I used a piece of So Saffron cardstock here. It's 3/4 of an inch wide. Stamped the word thanks, again in the Tuxedo Black ink, and cut that out and have it, I actually kind of cheated, and I have it already attached to this flower here, this spray. Have my dimensionals on the back. So let me bring in the card I want to use, just put this on, and let me get all of that dimensional paper off. I know I say this every time, but people do make fun of me with how many dimensionals I use, and that's fine. This is the way I like it. So there we go. Now I'm going to just kind of eyeball where I want to put this. Right there. I like it that the sentiment kind of goes at an angle like that. So, all right, we need to add a little bit of embellishments here. So I have the black matte dots, And I'm going to get those put on. I'm just going to put them kind of around the flower. I feel like that it just kind of highlights the flower then. So put another one right up there. I'm done. Card number 1, the fun fold card, is done. So that one, very simple. And it makes it fun because you just cut off some of the front of your card base, and yeah, there you go. All right, let's show off and celebrate with the other card now. So let me bring this one in. A little bit more involved because, well, number 1, all of my layers. I do love my layers. And number 2, because of the fold of it. So it opens up this way, and I put cardstock on the back to put my message. I was thinking about it as I was making it that I probably could put some of the same pattern paper here as well. I didn't, obviously, but I'm like, I'll have to remember that for another time. So, all right, let me show you how I made this one. So, I am using Smoky Slate. This is the 8.5 by 5.5. I will go over the score lines here in a second. Let me move things out. So, when I put it in my scoring tool, the score lines are 1 7/8, 3 inches. Then I flip it around to do it again. 1 7/8 and 3 inches. So they're the same measurements when I flip it around both ways. All right. Before I do any of the folding and scoring, I'm going to leave it open. It just makes it a little bit easier for me to do some of my adhering of things. So first up is the pattern paper, the Beautifully Penned free paper. I have 2 strips of that. They are 5 1/4, 1 5/8. All right, so let me get that put in. I started out when I was making this version that I was like, I'm going to make it black and white. And needless to say, I changed my mind. So I like the introduction of the grays. So gray, black, white. And then I'm like, I still need to add a little bit of color. So I thought by using the color, bringing color in with the flowers, that was the way to go. So, all right, so let me get this piece in there next too. So you do need to, obviously 2 of these, the 1 5/8 by 5 1/4. All right, now let me flip it over because I want to have it on the back. This, remember that piece that's on the back that I want to write my message then. So that is going to be, and this is 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. So we'll just adhere that in. I am just not going to stamp anything on this. I thought that if I were to send this out, I could just easily write my message this way too. So, all right, now let me just set this off to the side because I'm going to bring in just some scrap paper. And as you can see, I have a little bit of a yellow background here on the white of my strip here on my card. Now this piece measures 5 by 2. All right, so with that I am going to use a blender brush and some So Saffron ink. Let me move this off to the side, get a little bit more centered. I love these blending brushes. I am very heavy-handed when it comes to sponging and blending and all of that. So I find that these make it so I start off a little bit lighter. And, you know, because you can always add more ink. You can never take it away once you put it down. So I just want to put in here where I think my flowers are going to go. Good. So let me just do a little bit more right here in the center. I want that to really be the darkest. So I have it sort of dark in the middle, and then it just fades out and around. So that's all I want to do right there, is just that little bit. Just to have a little something fun behind the flowers. My sentiment, I want to leave it kind of alone, and that's why I layered it up with 2 other colors. So this is the stamped in basic gray ink. It's a 1 inch by 1 inch square. The next layer is 1 1/4. The black, this is smoky slate, sorry, and this is basic black at 1 1/2 then. So I thought I would kind of bump up the color by using extra layers on the sentiment. So that's what I did there. Of course, there's dimensionals on the back. Now I'm going to take my 2 by 5, adhere it to my 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. See, I told you I'm just 1/4 of an inch is it. So usually it is considerably smaller, just that 1/8 of an inch, what I normally use. So, all right. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down to my card. Now the flower spray, I did it the very same way as I did with the first card, using the stamps to help fill in the color. And just using different colors. I used instead, by the way, this is Pool Party. I don't think I told you that. So Pool Party there. I also used Pool Party for the flower, So Saffron, and Pear Pizzazz. So those are the colors of the flower, just to bring in a little additional color. So now I'm going to go ahead and fold up my card. Now this is going to be the top, so I'm going to start. This is those 3 inch, the score lines closest to the center like this. I'm going to start first by folding them in. All right, on both sides. So I fold it to the back for those. Now this score line here on the going out further, I'm going to fold in on itself. All right, so you really can't go wrong with the fold. If you realize you did, you know, you can just flip it over and fold it the right way. So you know, that's not a big issue there. So now I have the fold. Let me turn it around. All right, so there's the fun fold. Let's start getting things put down. I have my flower spray and all of my dimensionals on the back. So let's get it ready to go onto the card. And yeah, there are several. 1, 2, 3. Is there 4 packs of paper that you have to choose from as far as something free during celebration. So there's stamp sets as well. I love the paper, so you know, I'm always hoarding paper, so you would be shocked to see how much paper I have. So all right, here is my sentiment. Let me get that up and in there. All right, and now I am going to use those black matte dots again. So as soon as I find, here it is. So let's go ahead and let's get those down. I am going to go with 2 of them here, and I'm going to get 1 put up there. All right, so there it is. Here is my 2 fun fold cards. Let me get them all brought back in. I have to put the lid on the glue because I know I will end up spilling it somewhere. Okay, there we go. Here they are, using the Beautifully Penned paper. These are inspired by the cards that I made here using the peach set that's in the annual catalog. Same with then the papers as well. So either way, kind of fun. So don't be afraid to find some cards that you've used that you really like or that you've made already. Use some stamp sets and papers that you already have, or if you're interested in any of the papers that are on for celebration, go ahead, place your order, get it to $50, and you can get one of these papers packs as well. So, well, hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. It is a nice long weekend coming up. Tomorrow is a day off. I am so thankful for that. Sometimes we need those days off, don't we? So I hope you enjoy yours, and don't forget to come back next Sunday night. Hey, have a good one. Bye now.